Scrambled paragraphs are often thought to be the most difficult part of the verbal section of the exam, in part because you're not narrowing down 5 answers to one answer, where in some cases you can eliminate answers and make a reasonable guess if you're not certain. In this case, you have to re-engineer somebody's paragraph, and you have to get 5 out of 5 lines correct, or you get no points, which is not very forgiving. It can be difficult. That said, there are many tips to get better at it, and to the extent we can do that, we certainly want to try. So let's begin. The first thing I would say, half the battle is getting your second sentence, the very follow-on sentence to the opening sentence, correct. From there, oftentimes the case, things begin to fall right into place, and if you can't do it, clearly everything's going to be wrong. So let's go through our sentences. When Gustavus Fox reached Charleston, he spent hours futilely searching for the Powhatan, having no clue the vessel had been misrouted. Okay, where do we begin with the next sentence? Let's look at T. Anderson's small garrison of 60 men returned fire. Don't think that really follows the first sentence, because the first sentence doesn't indicate anybody's firing yet. Q. Abner Doubleday, an officer on Anderson's staff, recalled the conflagration was terrible and disastrous. Okay, we never referred to Abner Doubleday or Anderson in the first sentence, so I'm not sure that's a good fit for the second sentence. U. They had no chance, Fox lamented, without the Powhatan's men. Possible. Fox is in the first sentence. They, the pronoun, could possibly be referring to the Powhatan, except later in U it indicates without the Powhatan's men, and that suggests the they is a different they, so I'm not sure that is going to work terribly well. Let's try S. Nor did he know that Confederate authorities in Montgomery had intercepted his plans and ordered the commander in Charleston. Oh, okay. We have a couple clues here that might fit. Nor, it looks like that might follow from no clue. Gustavus Fox had no clue the vessel was misrouted, nor did he know that Confederate authorities. The other clue is the pronoun he. He seems to refer to Gustavus Fox in the first sentence. So S looks like a very good fit. Let's just check R as well. R. At 3:30 a.m. on April 12th, Beauregard sent a note to Anderson. Again, we're discussing 2 individuals or names we have not seen in the first sentence, so I'm going to suspect that's not the best follow-on fit. It looks like S is our best fit, given the clues. So up to this point, we have when Gustavus Fox reached Charleston, he spent hours futilely searching for the Powhatan, having no clue the vessel had been misrouted. Nor did he know that Confederate authorities in Montgomery had intercepted his plans and ordered the commander in Charleston, Brigadier General Pierre Beauregard, to attack the fort before the Powhatan and the Union convoy were due to arrive. Well, right away we also can see Fox and the Powhatan are Union and Beauregard is Confederate. So what sentence might follow that? Abner Doubleday, an officer on Anderson's staff. We still haven't learned of Anderson yet, so I'm going to assume that's not the best follow-on sentence. They had no chance, Fox lamented. Okay, possibly there was an order for Beauregard to attack, and Fox could be saying that, but I'm not sure that's quite the best fit. Anderson's small garrison of 60 men returned fire. Well, again, no one fired yet, so I'm not sure T is the best follow-on sentence. At 3:30 a.m. on April 12th, Beauregard sent a note to Anderson announcing his intent to commence firing in 1 hour. That looks to me like it might be the best fit. It's setting a timeline, it's indicating a beginning, an intent to commence firing in 1 hour. Let's look at that again. So, nor did he know that Confederate authorities in Montgomery had intercepted his plans and ordered the commander in Charleston, Brigadier General Pierre Beauregard, to attack the fort before the Powhatan and Union convoy were due to arrive. At 3:30 a.m. on April 12th, Beauregard sent a note to Anderson announcing his intent to commence firing in 1 hour. And it looks like Anderson is a Union officer in control of this fort in Charleston. That seems to fit so far. What would the next logical sentence B. They had no chance, Fox lamented, could refer to Anderson, given that Beauregard intends to attack. T, Anderson's small garrison of 60 men returned fire, but were quickly overwhelmed by a force of 9,000. That could fit. Q, Abner Doubleday, an officer on Anderson's staff, recalled that the conflagration was terrible and disastrous. Well, I think there's a clue here. Beauregard is intent to commence firing, and Anderson's small garrison were overwhelmed. That suggests a logical timeline. Commence firing and being overwhelmed. Likewise, there's a connection between two words, or individuals in this case, from sentence to sentence, from R to T, of Anderson. Beauregard sent the note to Anderson, and Anderson's small garrison of 60 men returned fire. Let's try that out. Those two sentences look like they are linked together. Up to this point, we have used transition words and some clues from sentence to sentence to put our order together. And let's read it one more time. When Gustavus Fox reached Charleston, he spent hours futilely searching for the Powhatan, having no clue the vessel had been misrouted. Nor did he know that Confederate authorities in Montgomery had intercepted his plans and ordered the commander in Charleston, Brigadier General Pierre Beauregard, to attack the fort before the Powhatan and Union convoy were due to arrive. At 3:30 a.m. on April 12th, Beauregard sent a note to Anderson, announcing his intent to commence firing in 1 hour. Anderson's small garrison of 60 men returned fire, but were quickly overwhelmed by the Confederate force of 9,000. Okay, I like that. So far, I think our clues fit quite nicely, and the order of paragraphs is, with some confidence, correct up to this point. Now we have U and Q, our final two sentences to place. And unfortunately, here's where things get a little tricky. It's possible either sentence could fit. They're both recollections. One's from Fox, U, sentence U, they had no chance, Fox lamented, without the Powhatan's men, howitzers, and fighting launches. And Q is Abner Doubleday, an officer on Anderson's staff, recalling that the conflagration was terrible and disastrous. 1/5 of the fort was on fire. So why can't U go before Q or Q go before U? There is a clue. The pronoun they seems to refer to Anderson's small garrison. We could put Q in front of U, and then the they would essentially skip over Q, referring to 2 sentences ago, Anderson's small garrison. But that doesn't seem like the best fit. It seems more likely that the pronoun follows and refers to Anderson's garrison in the sentence immediately prior. So for that reason, I would put U before Q, and I think the ordering as shown works the best. Anderson's small garrison of 60 men returned fire, but were quickly overwhelmed by the Confederate force of 9,000. They had no chance, Fox lamented, without the Powhatan's men, howitzers, and fighting launches. Abner Doubleday, an officer on Anderson's staff, recalled that the conflagration was terrible and disastrous. 1/5 of the fort was on fire, and the wind drove the smoke in dense masses into the angle where we had all taken refuge. I think we're going to go with the final ordering, SRTUQ. On some of the follow-up problems and in our classroom instruction units, we'll go into more detail on different types of transition and connecting words and explore that in more detail. Good luck!